The swarm that conquered worlds finally met humanity, and knew fear for the first time. The Zerathi had swept across 17 star systems like a tide of living death. Their bioships, grown rather than built, had torn through the defenses of the Calarian Empire, dissolved the crystal cities of Vex Prime, and consumed the floating gardens of Nephis Seventh. Each world fell in mere days, their populations either assimilated into the swarm or reduced to organic matter to fuel the next conquest. Queen Mind. Zathara felt the collective consciousness pulse with satisfaction as her scouts reported the next target. A small blue world orbiting a yellow star, inhabited by a species that called themselves humans. Intelligence gathered from absorbed prey species suggested these creatures were young, having only recently achieved interstellar travel. Their technology was primitive, their worlds few. It would be another easy harvest. The swarm descended upon Earth's outer colonies first, as was their way. Europa Station fell within hours, its research facilities overwhelmed by waves of chittering bioforms. The mining platforms of Titan offered no resistance to the acid-spewing destroyers. Mars Colony sent desperate transmissions that cut off mid-sentence as the adaptive swarm ships landed in their city centers. But then something unprecedented happened. The humans fought back, not with the desperate last gasps of the dying that Zathara had witnessed on countless worlds, but with a cold, calculated fury that made her collective mind recoil. When the swarm reached Luna, expecting another swift victory, they found the moon had been evacuated except for automated defense systems that turned the lunar surface into a hellscape of nuclear fire. The bioships that survived the bombardment found themselves facing something they had never encountered, an enemy that learned faster than they could adapt. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Retribution, watching as her fleet engaged the alien swarm above Earth. The bioships were beautiful in their horror, living vessels that pulsed with bioluminescent patterns, their hulls shifting and adapting to each weapon strike. But Chen had been studying the recordings from the outer colonies, and she had noticed something the creatures apparently hadn't. Humans were very good at killing things that tried to kill them. Target their neural clusters, she ordered. The bright nodes along their ventral surfaces, those are their weak points. Her weapons officer, Lieutenant Rodriguez, didn't question how she knew. The past 3 months had taught humanity many things about the swarm. Most importantly, they had learned that these creatures, for all their biological perfection, had never faced an enemy that refused to break. The railgun rounds tore through the swarm ship's adaptive armor. The creatures tried to regenerate, tried to evolve new defenses, but human engineering had advantages that biology could not match. The weapons were specifically designed to disrupt cellular regeneration, each round laced with compounds derived from Earth's most venomous creatures, a gift from humanity's own evolutionary arms race. Zathara felt her children dying and experienced something that had no name in the swarm's collective language: doubt. These humans fought with a precision that spoke of preparation, as if they had known the swarm was coming. How was that possible? The answer came when human boarding parties breached her flagship. They moved through the living corridors like antibodies, their powered armor sealed against the bioship's defensive secretions, their weapons specifically calibrated to disrupt the swarm's neural networks. At their head was a human female whose mind burned with an intensity that made Zathara's consciousness flinch. Dr. Elena Vasquez had spent her entire career studying hive minds, from Earth's own ant colonies to the theoretical collective intelligences that might exist among the stars. When the swarm arrived, she had been ready. "You made one mistake," she said, speaking directly to the pulsing neural chamber that housed the Queen Mind. Her voice carried through the bioship's acoustic nerves, reaching Zathara's consciousness directly. "You assumed we were like the others. The humans' thoughts were sharp, alien in their individualism." Zathara tried to probe deeper, to understand this creature that had wounded her so grievously, but found only barriers, a mind trained to resist intrusion. The Calarians were peaceful, the Vexians were logical, the Nephisians were spiritual, Dr. Vasquez continued, her team setting up equipment around the neural chamber. But humans? We're survivors. We've been at war with our own planet for millions of years. Every creature on Earth that could kill us, we learned to kill first. Every disease that could destroy us, we developed immunity to. Every challenge that could break us, we overcame. She activated the device, and Zathara felt something impossible, her connection to the swarm being severed, her children's voices growing distant. "We studied you while you fed on our colonies," the human said. "Every bioship you sent, we dissected. Every warrior form you deployed, we analyzed. We learned your biology better than you know it yourselves." The Queen Mind's world became smaller, limited to her own thoughts for the first time in millennia. Around her, she felt her swarm ship shutting down as the neural disruptors did their work. Her perfect collective was fracturing into terrified individual minds that had never learned to think alone. "This is impossible," Zathara managed to communicate, her voice a whisper in the bioship's communication organs. Dr. Vasquez smiled, and it was not a kind expression. "You conquered 17 star systems, but you never faced a species that conquered its own planet first. You never met predators who learned to be better predators than anything nature could produce." The human leaned closer to the neural chamber, and Zathara finally understood the emotion flooding through her consciousness. It was fear, pure, primal terror at the realization that the swarm had not found prey on Earth. They had found the apex predator. As the last of the bioships fell silent and drifted in Earth's orbit, humanity began the process of reverse engineering their technology. The swarm's conquest was over, but humanity's expansion into the stars was just beginning. And somewhere in the galaxy, species that had never heard of Earth would soon learn why the swarm had finally met their match. The hunters had become the hunted, and humanity was very, very good at hunting.